Hello, beautiful people. It is me again. Now coming up to you guys, your faces, with so many things I have been learning about life in general, and I want to share them with you. So I wrote down some of my talking points. So if you see me looking down, just know that it's because some of my points are there, and I want to express myself as succinctly as possible. So, based on the topic you're already seeing, is the things that I'm learning as I am getting older. And I'm sure it resonates with some of you, especially those of you doing the inner work, doing the unlearning of the things that you've known all your life and just wanting to move forward as a better version of yourself. Because I'm very huge on growth. I'm very huge on putting myself in, I don't want to say uncomfortable situations, but basically just going for the jugular of my life, trying to be the better version of me, trying to do everything that is going to make Herita feel good about herself. So, without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Slowing down. I've been sitting with a lot of thoughts about my life lately and growing up, and honestly, there was this glorification of the rat race. Oh, we should be up on this, up on that, up on this, up on that. And frankly, I have come to learn that, you know what, there are some things that are not just my thing, and that is okay. I've learned, or I'm learning, to slow down. Life is beginning to slow itself or its pace down for me, and I'm learning that it's okay to walk on my own pace. You also get to realize very quickly that your race is your race alone. There's nobody else on that journey with you. Is you versus you. So whenever you see yourself trying to say, oh my God, my mates have gone ahead of me, oh, my mates are doing this and doing that and doing amazing and doing this, you forget that you are your own competition. You are not your mates' competition. You are in your own field and your own lane. And sometimes we actually forget that is where we need to channel our focus and our energy as much as possible. So, one thing I'm learning as a growing 20-something-year-old woman is to slow down, accept my journey, accept the challenge that has been given me, and make this woman called Henrietta the best version of herself, chasing, the things that interest me, the things that I like to do, the things I want to, the goals that I've set for myself, rather than using another person's yardstick to measure my life. Peace over proving myself. Sometimes I used to feel like I need to, previously I used to feel like I used to justify some choices, just explain to people why I'm doing certain things, especially the people that don't even matter, if we're being very honest. But for me, the people that matter to me, I have to share. I still kind of feel obligated to like share why I'm making certain decisions, why I've chosen to do certain things. And this is because of the respect that I have for these people, the impact they have in my life. And most times they will be impacted by the decision that I make. So those ones, they definitely deserve my justification. But now I'm choosing my peace over anything, anybody's judgments, like people wondering, oh, why is she doing this? Why is she doing that? You guys have seen this channel grow from when I was back in CU. That was a young girl going through life, over explaining herself, being a chronic people pleaser. Somehow, I would say I'm a recurring people pleaser. That's what I always tell people now. But now I just don't feel like there's a need to explain why I'm making certain decisions. Like, if it doesn't work for me, it just doesn't work for me. That goes down to relationships, it goes to friendships, it goes to work relationships. Like, I believe that it's meant to be beneficial mutually in one way or the other. And I personally think that if it's not working for me, if it's not serving the me that I want, you gotta go. Like, bye bye, sayonara. And I always avoided talking about relationships, because that's like romantic relationships, because personally, I have had my fair share of like dramatic romantic relationships. But maybe in this series of explaining or talking about the things that I'm experiencing as a young woman, I would like to share for my future sisters, my future young ladies coming up after me, or even the ones I've got ahead of me. Because one thing I've learned so quickly about life is that age is actually really a number. So many people are experiencing certain things that some people have experienced when they are 20. They're experiencing it in their 40s, in their 30s. And some other people are becoming more assertive in their 40s. Some are becoming assertive in their 20s. Some are becoming more sure of themselves in their 30s, and that is okay. So that's one thing, the beautiful thing about life, because God has not said, oh, you that is older than this person has more wisdom than this person. No, it's that person who has sought for wisdom that will find wisdom. And it doesn't matter the age in which you find it. As far as you find it, you find it. Success used to look like, finishing from school, getting a job, a good paying job, getting the car, the house, and everything. Now, don't get me wrong. I still definitely want a nice house. I want a nice car and all of that. But one thing I'm realizing very quickly is that success is what you define for yourself. Currently, for me, at this stage in my life, success to me is freedom. Success to me is buying my time back, being able to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them, not being tied to a clock or a clock in, clock out system, not being tied to an employer, if I'm being honest with you. And that is my genuine realization as I'm growing older. You define your success for yourself. You get to see that thing that you thought was the end all and the be all that will give you that success, that satisfaction, that fulfillment that you want, turns out not to give you that satisfaction anyway. And in most cases, it's either you redefine what success means for you, or you end up having to feel, maybe settle with whatever you have created for yourself. Letting go of timelines. I'm sure many of us had this whole thing that, when I am 25, I should be married with some kids and all of that. Guys, at this my beautiful age of my mid-20s, I am realizing that anybody who has not had their frontal lobe developed properly should not be getting married. Please take your time to know yourself. Take your time to develop yourself. Take your time to know what Henrietta likes, what Henrietta doesn't like. Know what Ayomide likes, what she does not like. Because I personally think that when you know yourself and it's like, this is Henrietta in whom I'm well pleased, there are certain things that somebody will offer you that you will not just take. And this is relationship related. This is friendship related. This is even some workplace scenario related. When you are actually very, very certain of who you are, it's very hard for you to be taking crumbs. And at some point, I don't want to say silence, but being alone will feel much more at peace than having a crowd of people who do not basically respect who you are or are willing to show up for you the way you need them to. So we have to do a lot of healing. Many of us have daddy issues or abandonment issues and all of those things. And sometimes these things drive us into being in relationships that on a normal day we should not be in. And like I said, I always try to avoid talking about relationships, but there are other things that I'm learning so much about relationships that I would like to share on this channel. And if you guys let me, I'm happy to share, some of this information going forward. Appreciating small things. That rush in the mornings, I'm really appreciating the quietness that comes in the morning, the slow mornings. You wake up. I'm not a coffee girl, so I'm not going to come and tell you guys drinking some coffee and all of that. No. But being able to wake up in the morning at maybe not at your own time, but at a reasonable time, you get to do some workout in, get your stretches in, get to work out, go to the gym if you can. Being able to use your own your own personal transportation, like your car, instead of the public transport. That's if you can afford it, of course. Being able to have your own house that you're not sharing with other people that are going to be messing with your mental health. Being able to go to a job that you like, that doesn't stress that doesn't increase your stress level or messes up with your mental health. Guys, I'm so big on mental health now. Like anything that adds towards your mental state in a positive way, those are things I'm grateful for. Those are the things that I like to look forward to. So it piggybacks on every other thing in your life, the job you want, the relationships you're trying to have, the friendships, the peace you're just trying to have as a person. So basically, appreciating the little things are definitely the things that give me that I am learning as a young lady who is at the point where she's at right now in her life. Well, while I don't have everything figured out, I don't think I'm also supposed to. I really think that obviously nobody has done this life thing before. If they've done it before, they're definitely ahead of us and they will give us the advice that they've had. My whole point is to keep exploring life in the best way that I can, in the way I'm experiencing it now, and in much, much better, scenarios, in my opinion. And with time, we'll be able to see what we become or make of our lives. Another beautiful quote that I really, really like is the one that talks about it's better to be a moving bicycle than a parked car. Like, whenever you don't like what your life is offering you, I really think it's important to keep striving for something better. I've also come to understand that there's no final destination of success, really. That point where you get to, that you achieve something, there's always going to be something else that is ahead of you, as like life in general, like goals you want to achieve, that gives you that feeling of, oh, I want to do more, I want more out of life. I think that's actually the whole point about life, to keep striving for something, to keep wanting and gunning for something, and to make you understand that truly at the end of the day, nothing else satisfies like Christ, of course. Shout out to my Christian. Nothing satisfies at the end of the day. I feel like God even gives us those things that we're really asking for every time. The husband, the children, the job, the houses, the cars, just to make you understand that truly at the end of the day, only me can satisfy your heart. So yeah, what has life taught you guys lately? And I would be looking forward to hearing your comments, sharing your comments with you guys in the comment section. And then also, you guys, you get to tell me some things you'd like me to talk about on this channel, so that we keep chatting and we keep talking about life in general, growth. This channel keeps rebranding itself to be something about life, not just about life in Germany, but just life in general, because that's where I'm at in my journey. And who knows, there might be another part of my journey that's just, upcoming for us to share our life experiences together. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the comment section and in future videos to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.